Yeah, well, Prof here, and this is a follow-up to a recent video that I did on the alt dynamic, what do they call this? ISO brick pen stand. This is the large, specifically the 12, and it was only available when I ordered it in this nice purple. Wasn't too sad by that because it is beautiful purple. But I did say how this it's milled so smooth and flat on the bottom that it's gonna slide around. That's an issue. So I mentioned how I was going to put egrips on the bottom, and well, I went and found them. This is actually a sample pack. You might have seen it in other videos. I think I did one on fixing the Happy Hacking keyboard wrist rest. One for the hybrid. This is the roll. I think I still have a partial roll somewhere around here. I cannot find it. It had the older insert. This is the newer one. I say newer, but whenever they change to that logo, roll. I picked up one of the, rolls early on for $20. Maybe 25 at another point. I actually messaged them about, because I saw them go up to $50 and then $55 for a roll. That was back in 2018, and they sent me this pack. I've made a couple videos because it's like a sample pack of just various little strips and stuff. Usually, quite often, I will back this with 3M clear double stick tape, just to make it a little bit thicker, depending on the purpose that I'm doing. But it basically, they say prevents things from slipping. Like they used to have like a thing that was like, it's slippy, it's grippy, not slippy. Dry, clean surface in order to grip. The more surface contact, the more grip. That is why for something like this that is milled perfectly flat on like something like this, very smooth, sort of like fake wood veneer surface, is perfect for this. And then in here, like this is getting so old because this came in 2018. That's when I complained about that. I almost can't, like I was like, I in the previous video I was like, I just buy a roll and I cut out what I need. I would recommend that to you too. However, this roll that I'm gonna say I last ordered in 2015, like they basically changed ownership of patents and stuff. I found a lot of that out when I messaged him and got the sample. They were basically like clearing out, try and get some of their money back. I ordered a number of them. I used to always have one roll I was using and another roll as backup. I could find emails as far back as 2011. I'm pretty sure I was buying it earlier, but because I remember using it on a lot of keyboard projects, and that would have started around 2008. I cannot recommend you buy the roll anymore, really, unless you need this much in this form factor. The reason is I just looked it up. It's $120 for a 10-foot roll of this, which is like the 20 to 25, whatever. Then to the 50, talk to him. He's like, yeah, that's because the original price never really fit like what it was, like what the pricing was, and we were clearing it out. Oh, $129.99 for this roll now. Unless you're making money with it, there is no way I could justify that. They do still have that. I was mentioning in the previous video too. They have a grab bag. Let me grab the camera here. So here's their website. It's just egrips.com. Oh, 2011 through 2015, I was buying that for $20 to $25 a roll. 2018 it was $50 or $55. Now it's $129.99. I mean, I know things have gotten more expensive, but jeez, I don't know if I could justify that anymore. However, how I started out using this stuff, and maybe something you want to try: sample of egrips material, $8.99. I don't know if I can select all of these. Foam grips, random samples. Like, that's how I started out. It was my uncle that had gotten these with his, like, new phone or from, like, an event he was at, and we did some research on it, and that's how we were using it early on, is I would get these phone grips promotional samples. I think they were $5 a pack back then, maybe. And you get a couple in there, and you just cut them up to whatever size you need. Yeah, because they come in this, like, think about what the shape of a, like, an old school flip phone was. You know, think Moto Razor, and then maybe into the BlackBerry era, right? You know, so you just get a couple of those in a pack, and then as needed, easily could put it on the bottom of something like this. I don't know that I could recommend the roll. I was picking these up, and even at 50. That's even like a close maker friend that one of the PCs that's been here for a while is for. At $50, he's kind of like, oof. At 10 foot, that's $5 a foot. It's still doable if you have a very specific use for it, and this is the best product for it, I think. Now that we're at $13 a foot. Ugh. Now, with how good this stuff is, it's 3/4 inch wide. You do not need to go to this guy here, the ISO brick here, and put a strip on the bottom from one end to the other. It would stay. You do not need to do that, though. Not in the least. Yeah, unless you have a specific use case, my suggestion would probably be get those samples. They had the, what was it, clear dimple, semi-permanent adhesive, 0.5, clear dimple, cleanly removable, sub 0.5 thick. I'll probably get the semi-permanent, because there's cleanly removable, and there's also printed dimpled. Yeah, normally a couple of square inches. That might not be a bad way for you to go. Like here, even though a 6x9 inch sheet is $65. Ooh. Maybe this is a bit better. 2.5 inch wide, like for the back of your phone, by 5 inches is $18. I used to just pick up the roll because it's just 3/4 inch strip. You can do whatever you want with it, but that is rough price wise. And since the price on this has gone up, I have used it a bit more sparingly. I used to use it on like everything back when it was $20 a roll, $25 a roll. In here we've got a sample. Oh, that's Visionary Action is their new brand. I'm not sure because I last talked to them $6.5 years ago, I want to say. But this is like a sample of some of the stuff you can get. This size right here, that used to be what you'd get for the back of a flip phone, right there. Just this guy. Now, if I remember correctly, this is this is might be for a specific phone, but it's got see there were two of them, and then these are supposed to go on the sides. They still make phone kits if you want to if you run caseless and want your phone to be grippy. I don't know that I would recommend that necessarily. I would probably say just get a phone case because you're going to drop your phone if you're anything like me. And then I have a bunch of these that have these. I've used a bunch of the circles on this one, it looks like. Yeah, this first sheet seems pretty well used up. I only got the small circles left, big squares, and some strips. Those look like inch wide strips versus this is only 3/4 inch wide tape here. And then they sent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these. So, you know, this is a pretty useful set. Like, these are like feet. I don't know what this sort of, I wouldn't say it's a kit net. Okay. One of these sheets right now, oh, sorry, 2 of these is $20. 2 of these smaller guys is also $20. So that might be more where it's at, because you're gonna get, like, what I mean is, like, even one of these sheets is, say when I did the some of these are coming off. This is quite old. Yeah. So maybe not all these are still usable. But these like dots. I used 8 dots, I think, for the mouse pad. I used 4 big ones, 4 smaller ones, I think. We'll see what, like, I think this square is too big. I think it's too wide, yep. So we have the strips. We could do 1 strip, 2 strip, 3 strip. That's kind of what I'm siding with, because I don't really use these strips, like the inch wide strips, I don't use very often. So what we need to do, prepare it with some isopropyl alcohol. Game-changing thing. Put your isopropyl alcohol in a little spray bottle. If you're wiping off CPUs and stuff like that, game changer. You can just spray the CPU, or you can just spray it rather than having to like tip your isopropyl into your paper towel and like soaking the paper towel through. You can just kind of spray it like that. Don't drink your isopropyl alcohol. Yeah, this sort of thing, like I said, is specifically what these egrips are amazing for. Is this sort of flat surface on flat surface, and you don't want it to slide. Like wrist rests, keyboards, depending on like how your keyboard's made. Some of those might be better with like little rubber bumpers. Make sure you get real rubber or real foam rubber, not the cheesy shit. I really wish I had some what do you want to call that shit? Not non-marring, non-lint wipes. Do be aware, at least these, I don't know if they list them as permanent. They are sticky. I tell you what. They are very, very sticky. And it is like on a layer of film. So you're going to want to push it down. Oh, okay. Hold on. I just realized. Yeah. Okay. catch it before it. Let's really center this over the holes. Like that. So yes, though this stuff is expensive, you will see shortly why. I mean, maybe not why it's so expensive, but why I like it so much. Maybe if you buy a bunch of it at once, use it. Unlike me. And at least, or store them better. Really, these alt dynamic should come with some sort of feet, in my opinion. I think they should be as thin as possible. That's why I'm using the egrips here. We're gonna put a third one smack in the middle. This one's got a little bit of, like the grippers are not doing so hot. I don't know if I can show that on camera. See, they're like peeling. That's just because I stored it like I did. Not saying that wouldn't be usable. Like some of these looks like over time, I don't know if the adhesive started to wear out or if heat got to it. There's a little bit of the adhesive going weird on this one too. Less so. This one somehow got a crease in it. So this one still does have a little bit of, I don't want to call it like a rot or anything. Not like, okay, this bottom one is by far the best one. We're gonna peel off another one of these. One, two, three. Oh, jeez. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 2, 3. Do it. Do it. Okay, so we're gonna go over these two in the middle. Burnishing would be the term I'm using to push this down. There's actually tools made for doing that. There are little air pockets in here that may eventually need to work their ways out. Where my finger was when I peeled this one up is a little bit less stuck down, I would say. But can only do so much. What? Oh. I mentioned it's grippy. There you go. There's cat fur stuck in it already. There. You remember how that slid around before? It's not moving. Like, I can move the cart with it. That's without pushing down. That's just from the weight of this. If you push down, it would grip even more. So yeah, my recommendation, having had some of this sit around now for what did I say? Since mid 2018. Buy as much as you're gonna use, especially with how expensive it is now. And store it better than I have, because some of these have started, like I don't know if these are gonna re-stick or stick at all, right? The ones that have shifted. The other ones are probably fine. Some of this has gotten like the texture on the grips have changed. This one, maybe if I had this sitting up, it sagged at some point, but it actually creased. And not that these won't work. Maybe I cut around them a little bit. You know what I mean? To cut out the crease stuff. I'm not too worried. I'm just giving you guys a heads up for you if you end up purchasing it. You know, especially because it's so expensive now. Not that it was ever like cheap. Maybe it was at some point when they're clearing it out, but I would argue like this sheet, 2 of these for 20, depending on what you want to do, and because this stuff does work so well, might be worth it. This is the same. Like, take a peek on the website. I do really like the product. It does cost a non-insignificant amount of money, but it does work. Like, here. That, so I put on my wrist rest too. The wrist rest will not slide while you're using it. This thing's actually got some resonance because it's like a bar, or like a, you know, it's got this not girdle, not gridiron, brain, words, girder shape. There you go. And it's also the sort of stuff that you can just wash off with water too. Like those cat furs, how you normally get them off is like damp cloth. So this guy now, with its is going to replace, here, these have these little rubber guys. These are flat ones. I tend to prefer like the little ball shaped ones personally. But that's what the cubes have. And now the ISO brick is in action along my mouse pad. And I will miss, actually, with how this is, I can probably keep stuff. Here's how you guys aren't seeing it, but that's how I'm gonna probably run it. Otherwise, if I didn't have to have my work laptop there under Paisley, yep, that used to be one of her favorite sleeping spots as a kitten. Yeah. You could have it at the top of your mouse pad. That's where I got a lot of dongles. I don't want that metal in the way of the, you know, wireless for the mice. Otherwise, like I showed you, on the kind of like behind your keyboard. Technically speaking, I think I actually have enough room to still put my cubes here. And here. Even with that there. I don't know that you need that many pens at that quick of a access, but at least for now I do. Because where the other cubes are temporarily located is also quite full. If you look up there, yeah. Cats are not going to like that though, because they like to go from here across the mouse pad, which is no. That is one place I can't be. Back up there. So we'll see how long that lasts. You cannot be on the keyboard. That is worse than the mouse. Oh, kitten. You're gonna press keys. We've been over this. You can't do that. Kitten, Paisley Marie, off the keyboard. You're pressing keys. Thank you. She's taking her tail at me, and then she's gonna schwalk me. This is how